Could your dream home lie in one of America's emptiest states? With populations under 1 million and land prices as low as $2,000 an acre, these 8 states in 2025 are wide open, but barely anyone's moving in. Are they hidden gems or ghost towns? Let's count down from number 8 to uncover why they're so quiet. Your adventure awaits. 8. Delaware. The Coastal Whisper. Delaware, America's tiny coastal secret. Nestled like a quiet seaside hamlet, this state's just 1,982 square miles, but feels like a world apart. With only 40,951 residents in 2025, per U.S. Census estimates, Delaware's one of the least populated states, despite being a stone's throw from Philly and D.C. Why so hushed? And why should you care? Here's the scoop. Delaware's population density is 525 people per square mile, but most folks huddle around Wilmington, leaving southern spots like Sussex County feeling like a coastal ghost town. Land here? Dirt cheap. You can grab a half-acre lot for $50,000 in rural areas per 2025 LandWatch data compared to $250,000 in nearby Maryland. That's less than a new Tesla. So, why is Delaware so empty? Its economy thrives on finance, think corporate tax havens in Wilmington, but rural areas lean on farming and seasonal tourism, with slim job prospects. The state's small size limits growth, and wetlands gobble up developable land. Plus, let's be real, Delaware's charm flies under the radar next to Florida's flashy beaches. Why care? Delaware's a budget-friendly paradise. Rehoboth Beach offers sandy shores without Miami's madness, and property taxes are a mere 0.58%. A $200,000 home costs just $1,160 a year versus New York's $3,240 at 1.72%. No state sales tax sweetens the deal. History buffs will love Newcastle's colonial cobblestones, and foodies can dig into fresh crab cakes. Fun fact, Delaware's the first state signing the Constitution before anyone else. The catch? Winters dip to 30 degrees, and hurricanes occasionally loom. Jobs outside finance or tourism are scarce, so remote workers or retirees might vibe here most. Still, Delaware's a steal for a coastal retreat or savvy investment. Snag land now before the East Coast crowd wakes up. This whisper won't stay quiet long. 7. South Dakota, the prairie dreamland, South Dakota, where prairies roll forever and buffalo outnumber people. This rugged beauty spans 77,116 square miles, but houses just 928,767 souls in 2025, per census data. That's a mere 12 people per square mile. Talk about elbow room. From Badlands to Black Hills, why's South Dakota so sparse, and why's it a big deal? Land prices are a jaw-dropper. You can score an acre for $2,000, $5,000 per 2025 LandWatch listings versus $500,000 near L.A. A 10-acre homestead? Under $50,000, cheaper than a tricked-out truck. This is where you can build your off-grid dream without a second mortgage. Why so few folks? Agriculture rules. Corn, soybeans, cattle, but farming jobs are dwindling due to tech. Winters hit 20 degrees, summers soar to 90 degrees, and the state's remote. Sioux Falls, the biggest city, has just 208,000 people. Rapid City's 80,000. If you're not into ag or tourism, Mount Rushmore, anyone? Jobs are thin, pushing young folks to urban hubs. Why should you care? South Dakota's a nature lover's jackpot. Hike the Black Hills, stargaze in Badlands National Park, or ski near Custer. Property taxes are 1.14%, so a $150,000 home costs $1,610 yearly. The cost of living is 10% below the national average per 2025 Merrick data. Groceries, gas, everything's cheaper. No state income tax means your paycheck stays fat. Fun fact, South Dakota's home to the world's only corn palace, a quirky ode to its farm roots. Downsides? Isolation's real. Rural internet's spotty, though Starlink's helping. Healthcare's limited outside Sioux Falls, and those winters test your grit. But for adventurers, homesteaders, or investors eyeing tourism growth, South Dakota's a gold mine. Land prices are inching up, so grab your slice of prairie before it's gone. 6. North Dakota, the frozen frontier. North Dakota, where the wind howls louder than the locals and the prairies stretch like an endless canvas. This rugged state feels like America's forgotten frontier, with just 788,070 residents across 70,698 square miles in 2025, per U.S. Census Bureau estimates. That's a mere 11 people per square mile. Talk about solitude. From icy plains to oil-rich badlands, why's North Dakota so empty, and why should it matter to you? Let's talk land first. You can snag an acre here for as low as $1,500 to $4,000, according to 2025 LandWatch data. Compare that to Texas, where rural acres near Austin hit $50,000. A 20-acre plot for a homestead? Yours for $30,000, $80,000, less than a fancy RV. This is where you can carve out your own slice of the American dream without a bank-breaking loan. So, why's North Dakota practically a ghost town? The economy leans hard on agriculture: wheat, soybeans, and sunflowers, and oil, with the Bakken Formation pumping jobs in places like Williston. But oil's a roller coaster, and farming's automated slashing jobs. Winters are brutal, dipping to 30 degrees with wind chills that'll freeze your eyelashes per NOAA data. Summers hit 85 degrees, but the state's remote. Fargo, the biggest city, has just 134,000 people, and Bismarck's at 75,000. If you're not in egg, oil, or healthcare, good luck finding work. Young folks flee to Minneapolis or Denver, leaving North Dakota to ranchers and risk-takers. Why should you care? This state's a haven for those craving freedom. The Missouri River offers fishing and kayaking, while Theodore Roosevelt National Park is a stargazer's paradise with its painted canyons. Property taxes are low at 0.98%, so a $150,000 home costs just $1,470 a year per 2025 tax data, way less than California's $3,750 at 2.5%. Cost of living's 11% below the national average per Merrick 2025, meaning groceries and gas won't sting. No state income tax on pensions sweetens it for retirees. Fun fact, North Dakota's the only state with a state-owned bank, keeping local money local. The downsides? Isolation's a beast, rural internet's patchy, though 5G's creeping in. Healthcare's thin outside Fargo, and those winters demand serious grit. But for off-grid dreamers, hunters, or investors betting on oil or renewable energy, wind farms are booming. North Dakota's a gold mine. Land prices are ticking up as remote workers eye cheap plots. Grab yours before the frontier fills up. 5. Montana, the Big Sky Sanctuary. Montana, where mountains kiss the heavens and the sky's so big it steals your breath. This is America's wild heart, with only 1,148,834 residents sprawling across 147,040 square miles in 2025, per census estimates. That's just 8 people per square mile. Room to roam doesn't even cover it. From Glacier National Park to endless ranch lands, why's Montana so sparse, and why's it screaming your name? Land here is a bargain. Rural acres go for $3,000, $7,000 per 2025 LandWatch listings. A 10-acre retreat near Bozeman? Around $50,000, $100,000, compared to Colorado's $500,000 for similar. Want a cabin site with mountain views? You're looking at prices that won't make your wallet cry. This is where you build your dream without a second mortgage. Why so empty? Montana's economy hinges on agriculture, cattle, wheat, and tourism, with mining and timber trailing. But jobs are scarce outside ranching or seasonal gigs in places like Yellowstone. Winters are fierce, lows of 25 degrees in January per Noe, and summers hit 90 degrees in the plains. The state's remote. Billings, the largest city, has 120,000, and Missoula's at 78,000. Tech and industry? Not here. Young folks head to Seattle or Denver, leaving Montana to cowboys, artists, and nature nuts. Why care? Montana's a lifestyle jackpot. Glacier National Park's turquoise lakes and grizzly sightings are unreal, while fly fishing in the Madison River is world-class. Property taxes are 0.83%, so a $200,000 home costs $1,660 a year, half of Oregon's $3,320 at 1.66%. Cost of living's 3% below average, per Merrick 2025, with cheap gas and groceries. No sales tax means your shopping's guilt-free. Fun fact, Montana's got more elk, 150,000, than any state except Colorado. The catch? Rural life's lonely, internet's improving, but spotty. Healthcare's limited outside Billings or Bozeman, and winters require serious prep. But for adventurers, retirees, or investors eyeing tourism, Bozeman's booming, Montana's a dream. Land's appreciating as remote workers and celebs. Yep, Montana's got A-listers. Move in. Stake your claim under big sky before it's too late. 4. Vermont. The Green Mountain Hideaway. Vermont, where rolling hills hum with maple syrup dreams and cozy villages feel like a hug from nature. This New England gem is a patchwork of forests and farms, with just 647,464 residents across 9,616 square miles in 2025 per U.S. Census Bureau estimates. That's a mere 67 people per square mile. Talk about a private paradise. From snowy peaks to autumn's fiery foliage, why's Vermont so quiet, and why's it calling your name? Let's start with the land. Rural Vermont acres go for $5,000, $15,000 per 2025 LandWatch data. A 5-acre lot for your dream cabin? Yours for $25,000, $75,000 compared to Massachusetts, where similar land hits $200,000. This is where you can build a retreat without draining your life savings. So, why's Vermont practically empty? The economy leans on agriculture, think dairy, maple syrup, and apples, and tourism, with ski resorts like Stowe drawing seasonal crowds. But jobs are scarce outside farming, hospitality, or small-scale tech in Burlington. Winters are long and cold, dipping to 15 degrees per Noe data, and summers peak at a mild 80 degrees. The state's rural, Burlington, the biggest city, has only 45,000 people, and Montpelier, the capital, is a tiny 8,000. Limited industry and high living costs push young folks to Boston or New York, leaving Vermont to artisans, retirees, and nature lovers. Why should you care? Vermont's a lifestyle jackpot. Green Mountain National Forest offers hiking and skiing, while Lake Champlain's perfect for kayaking. Property taxes are higher at 1.78%, so a $200,000 home costs $3,560 a year, but that's still less than Connecticut's $4,800 at 2.4%. Cost of living's just 2% above the national average, per Merrick 2025, with groceries and utilities manageable. No sales tax on groceries keeps your pantry budget happy. Fun fact, Vermont's the top U.S. state for maple syrup, producing over 2 million gallons a year. The catch? Rural isolation means spotty internet, though broadband's expanding. Healthcare's limited outside Burlington, and those snowy winters demand serious shoveling. But for homesteaders, artists, or investors eyeing Vermont's growing ecotourism, Think farm stays and craft breweries. This state's a treasure. Land prices are rising as remote workers discover its charm. Grab your green haven before it's gone. 3. Alaska, the last wilderness. Alaska, where glaciers glint under midnight suns and bears outnumber baristas. This is America's wildest frontier, stretching 665,384 square miles with just 733,536 residents in 2025, per census estimates. That's a jaw-dropping 1.1 people per square mile. Room to roam doesn't even cut it. From Denali's peaks to Arctic tundra, why is Alaska so deserted? And why is it a big deal for you? Land here is dirt cheap for the brave. Remote acres start at $1,000, $3,000 per 2025 LandWatch data. A 10-acre wilderness plot? Yours for $10,000, $30,000 compared to California's $500,000 for less. Want an off-grid cabin with aurora views? You're looking at prices that scream adventure over debt. Why so empty? Alaska's economy rides on oil, fishing, and tourism, with mining and military bases adding jobs. But it's remote. Anchorage, home to 287,000, holds nearly half the state's population, while Fairbanks has 32,000. Winters are brutal, hitting 40 degrees in the interior, per NOAA, and summers barely reach 70 degrees. High living costs, groceries are 30% pricier than the mainland, per Merrick, deter newcomers. Jobs outside oil or seasonal tourism are rare, and the isolation, some towns are fly-in only, sends young folks packing to Seattle or beyond. Why care? Alaska's a nature lover's dream. Denali National Park's grizzlies and glaciers are unreal, while the Inside Passage offers world-class kayaking. Property taxes are low at 1.19%, so a $150,000 home costs $1,785 a year, way less than Washington's $3,600 at 2.4%. Residents get an annual permanent fund dividend, $300 in 2024, likely similar in 2025, from oil revenue, like a thank you for braving the cold. Fun fact, Alaska's got more coastline, 6,640 miles, than the entire lower 48 combined. The downsides? You're isolated, internet's pricey, and healthcare's sparse outside Anchorage. Winters test your soul, and shipping costs make Amazon a luxury. But for adventurers, survivalists, or investors betting on tourism or mineral booms, Alaska's unmatched. Lands appreciating as remote work rises. Stake your claim in the last frontier before it's tamed. 2. Nevada, the desert mirage. Nevada, where neon dreams fade into endless desert sands and tumbleweeds outdance the locals. This sprawling state feels like a movie set for solitude, with just 3,235,846 residents across 110,572 square miles in 2025, per U.S. Census Bureau estimates. That's a mere 29 people per square mile. Plenty of room to chase your own mirage. From sagebrush valleys to rugged canyons, why is Nevada so sparse outside Vegas, and why should it matter to you? Let's talk land. Rural Nevada's a bargain. Acres go for $500, $2,000 per 2025 LandWatch data. A 40-acre plot for your desert hideaway? Yours for $20,000, $80,000 compared to Arizona's $200,000 for less. This is where you can own a chunk of the Wild West without selling your soul. Why so empty? Nevada's economy revolves around tourism and mining, with Las Vegas 2.3 million metro and Reno 500,000 metro hogging the spotlight. But beyond these hubs, jobs are scarce. Think gold mines or small-scale ranching. The climate's brutal. Summers hit 100 degrees, winters dip to 20 degrees in the north, per NOAA data. Most of Nevada's rural, Elko, the largest remote town, has 21,000 people. Water's a precious commodity, and infrastructure's thin, pushing folks to urban centers or out of state entirely. Young dreamers head to California, leaving Nevada's deserts to loners and prospectors. Why care? Nevada's a freedom seeker's paradise. Great Basin National Park offers starry skies and hiking, while the Black Rock Desert hosts Burning Man's wild vibes. Property taxes are low at 0.60%, so a $200,000 home costs just $200 a year, half of Utah's $2,400 at 1.2%. Cost of living's 5% below average outside Vegas, per Merrick 2025, with cheap gas and no state income tax to sting your wallet. Fun fact, Nevada's got more ghost towns, 600 plus, than any other state, relics of its mining boom. The catch? Rural life's harsh, internet's spotty, and healthcare's a trek outside Reno or Vegas. Water rights are a legal maze, and summer heat tests your grit. But for off-grid adventurers, artists, or investors eyeing Nevada's growing solar energy boom, this state's a steal. Land prices are inching up as remote workers discover the desert. Grab your mirage before it vanishes. 1. Wyoming, the loneliest cowboy. Wyoming, where wide-open plains sing cowboy ballads and mountains stand like silent sentinels. This is America's emptiest state, with a mere 592,035 residents across 97,813 square miles in 2025, per census estimates. That's just 6 people per square mile. Your nearest neighbor might be a pronghorn. From Yellowstone's geysers to Wind River's peaks, why's Wyoming the loneliest, and why is it screaming your name? Land here is pure gold for pennies. Rural acres start at $1,000, $3,000 per 2025 LandWatch listings. A 20-acre ranch plot? Yours for $20,000, $60,000 compared to Colorado's $300,000. Want a homestead with Teton views? You're looking at prices that won't make your bank account cry. Why so deserted? Wyoming's economy leans on energy, coal, oil, wind, ranching, and tourism. But jobs are slim. Cheyenne, the capital, has 65,000, and Casper's at 58,000. Winters are ferocious, hitting 25 degrees per NOAA, and summers reach 85 degrees. The state's remote, with spotty roads and no major cities. High winds, hence the name, and limited amenities drive young folks to Denver or Salt Lake City, leaving Wyoming to ranchers, retirees, and rugged souls. Why care? Wyoming's a nature lover's dream. Yellowstone National Park's bison and hot springs are unreal, while Grand Teton's peaks beg for hiking. Property taxes are the nation's lowest at 0.58%, so a $150,000 home costs $870 a year, way less than Idaho's $2,250 at 1.5%. Cost of living's 8% below average, per Merrick 2025, with groceries and utilities wallet-friendly. No state income tax and low sales tax, 4%. Keep your money yours. Fun fact, Wyoming was the first state to grant women the vote in 1869, earning its Equality State nickname. The downsides? Isolation's intense. Rural internet's a work in progress, and healthcare's scarce outside Cheyenne. Winters demand serious prep, and jobs are tough without energy or tourism skills. But for cowboys, survivalists, or investors betting on Wyoming's wind energy and tourism growth, this is the ultimate frontier. Land's appreciating as remote workers eye its beauty. Saddle up and claim your piece of the loneliest state now. There you have it, America's 8 emptiest states, from Nevada's desert mirages to Wyoming's cowboy heartlands. These wide-open gems offer dirt-cheap land, peaceful vibes, and untapped potential for dreamers, retirees, or savvy investors. But they're empty for a reason. Harsh climates, sparse jobs, and isolation aren't for everyone. Still, with prices starting at $1,000 an acre and lifestyles that scream freedom, these states are whispering opportunity. Could one be your next adventure? Let us know which state's calling you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden gems. Your wide-open dream awaits. Go chase it.